What's up everybody and welcome to the 2.5 update to Modern Firearms. This is going to be a new update again to the very popular and very well downloaded mod, Modern Firearms. As you can see, it's going to add in all these new weapons that are right in front of me right now, as well as there's actually quite a few other changes that I'm going to look at through this video as well. So it's going to probably be a long video. If you're looking for an individual section, I'll just skip through the video. I'll do like all the weapons at once and then all the other features at once, etc, etc. So first, taking a look at some of these new weapons, as you can see, we got some new categories of weapons. First and foremost, we obviously do have some brand new grenade launchers, as you can see kind of in the top row there, as well as we did just get some new shotguns as well. This is a new category. Previously, Modern Firearms didn't have any shotguns with it, but now obviously I think we have about 4 or 5 different shotguns in the mix, as well as we did get a few SMGs as well, being an Uzi and just some other things. And then on top of all that, we did get a bunch of new just assault rifles or just rifles in general to kind of add and just make this mod so much more expansive. So I know a lot of you guys kind of want to know what exactly each weapon is, so I'll just go through each and every single one right now. First and foremost, we got an M79 grenade launcher. Then another grenade launcher we do have is the multiple grenade launcher. I believe those are the only 2 grenade launchers actually added in. These are both shotguns. Then we do have the AR-12. I'm sure you've heard of this gun before. It's a very popular gun, and yeah, I mean, it's that fully automatic shotgun that you've seen in all the Call of Duties and all that. Then we have the Benelli Super M3 or M3 Super, so there's going to be a pump action shotgun right there. Then we do have the FAMAS, so as you can see, again, another game been in a lot of Call of Duties, and I have a feeling that's how a lot of people are going to know some of these guns. Then we do have a Barrett Rec 7, so this is actually an interesting gun. I've never heard of this one before. Basically, what it seems like is it is just kind of a PDW or submachine gun almost. Then we do have an AR-57. This is actually going to be another smaller kind of submachine gun styled weapon using the almost M4 platform. I'm actually using one of the ones with a little bit of a longer barrel there. Then we do have the AUG. I'm sure you've heard of this again, been in a lot of video games, a lot of movies, etc., used by the British military. Then we do have the Benelli M4, so it's going to be like the Benelli M3, except this one is going to be semi-automatic. And we do have the Spaz 12. Again, probably heard of this. This one is going to be semi-automatic as well. And up here we do have the Mossberg 500, another pump action shotgun, the Uzi. I don't have to introduce that, right? And then we do have the IWITC. So I'm not really sure what this one is. I've seen this gun in like video games and stuff before, so you probably have as well. It's another bullpup rifle though, pretty interesting nonetheless. Then we do have the Striker. This is going to be kind of a revolver shotgun almost. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but it does have that drum mag in there. And oh, it is actually called a revolver shotgun. I didn't read that. I just thought that in my head. And then last but not least, we have the Sega 12 gauge, which is going to be another shotgun mod. So that's all the new kind of weapons added in. We also have a little bit of a different change. We have some BDUs. So as you can see right here, this is going to be one of the options you do have for BDUs. So that's going to stand for Battle Dress Uniform. It's basically going to be what you wear under your armor. As you can see, this is one kind of armor set wearing the BDUs already. And you can actually customize these to be very different colors, and all around it's pretty cool. I'll show you that a little bit later on as I customize these 2 options we do have right here. As you can see, we have the military stealth fatigues, as well as just the BDU uniform and the hat right there. So all around very cool. Those are the major additions. Now let's go check out what they actually sound like. Alright, so the way I'm going to do this section is I'm going to kind of siphon all these weapons off into their respective categories. So first and foremost, we're going to have the explosive weapons. And actually a quick little disclaimer, here's an example of a BDU. Again, this guy is wearing a BDU under his armor. This one is as well. As you can see, that's what I mean by BDUs. They're all wearing winter armor, which is actually, why are they? How do they know it's winter out? I don't actually know. Regardless, first and foremost, we have the M79 grenade launcher. There's been a few mods of this before. As you can see, it's going to be a pretty standard grenade launcher. It's going to be a single load. There are different grenade types that you can add for this, but we'll get or go over that later on in the video. And then we also do have the multiple grenade launcher. So this one is going to be, again, kind of just a multiple grenade launcher, as well as actually, that's another addition from this that you'll kind of see throughout the video. There are new animations. So some of these work, some of these don't work so well. But regardless, again, here we do have the multiple grenade launcher, which is pretty self-explanatory, just going to fire multiple grenades at once. This one actually is pretty cool when you get into the weapon attachments though. Alright, so now on to the shotguns. Well, we're going to start off with the AR-12, and just kind of a quick disclaimer, some of these, whoops, I'm still in workshop mode, but some of these are going to be semi-automatic now. Like this is one example, but these are, you can modify this to be fully automatic, or some of them you can modify to be fully automatic. So just take that as, you know, just denote that not all of these are, you know, like that. So again, here we have the AR-12, kind of going to be your normal shotgun here, like your tactical shotgun using almost what looks like an M4 platform. Here we do have the Benelli M3, and everyone just take a look at this for a second. So that's the Modern Firearms implementation of the pump action. So basically it's reusing Axis's, what do you use that mod for? It was the reload textures for the rifle, I forget the rifle name. Regardless, I don't like this at all. I understand why they did it, because obviously there's no pump action animations yet, although someone is making that, so look forward to that in the future. But I just think it looks very obnoxious and very silly, and I would just probably going to steer away from pump action shotguns as a result. Then we do have the Benelli M4, which obviously not used. If you're wondering why they're falling in the ground, that is the effect from well, that one just died, but the effect from Modern Firearms. And yeah, some of the other animations are a little bit glitchy. Although they are using custom animations, they don't really fit with the weapon. I noticed this the most with the shotguns. Actually, a lot of the rifles don't really have as much of a problem here. Regardless, here again is the Benelli M3. This one's the M4. Then we do have the Mossberg 500. This is going to be another pump action using the kind of same thing as the Benelli M3. So again, not a huge fan of that. Obviously, you guys can have your own opinion. Let me know in the comments down below, actually, what is your opinion on that? I'm actually kind of curious. I just don't really like it all that much. Then my personal favorite, the Spaz 12, which, yeah, good luck seeing with this thing. You actually, this is only because you're using that top-mounted rail. It's a shotgun, though. Who needs to see, right? But there are some other options. You can actually have other sights on this thing. So we do have that. That's the Spaz 12. I'm sure you guys have seen that. And then we do have the Striker. This is just going to be kind of your pretty typical semi-automatic shotgun right there. And then last, but certainly not least, we have the Sega 12 gauge, which as you can see right here, is just going to be another one that is kind of belt-fed. Or not belt-fed, but drum-fed. And yeah, I did level up there from killing all the raiders. But yeah, so those are the shotguns. Now let's move on to the assault rifles. So now we do have the assault rifles, which are actually all going to be bullpup, which is not really, it's just kind of coincidental, I think. Well, or maybe that was intended. But regardless, we do have the three. So first and foremost, we do have the AUG, which is going to be a weapon you've probably seen pretty often before, and unfortunately it is using custom animations, but they go into the kind of middle of the gun. Considering this is a bullpup, there are no custom animations for these yet. Then next up we do have the FAMAS right here, which as you can see, we can mow some people down, shoot some heads off. All good fun. And again, the FAMAS being the pretty iconic gun. This one actually doesn't work, like it works a little bit better than the previous gun there. And then last but not least, out of these new assault rifles is the Tavor IWI, which again, that has a name. I just can't remember how I know this is from like one of the Call of Duty games, but I don't know. Regardless, all three of them pretty cool guns, pretty similar in the sense that they are all bullpups, and they're all going to be firing, obviously have different attachments, they all look different, and they have different ammo types, but pretty cool guns nonetheless, at least in my eyes. So on to the next, which is SMGs. Alright, so now next up we do have the different SMGs, and I'm kind of using that term a little bit broadly, like this is probably more of a PDW, although again, this is the one I'm using the extended barrel on. Regardless, here we do have the AR-57. As you can see, this is actually using kind of a P90 reload or magazine system, ammo system. It's pretty interesting, a little bit different there. So then we do have the Barrett Rec 7, which again, this one's going to be a pretty cool one. But again, kind of following that same PDW. Oh, this one's actually semi-automatic, which again, you could change this. I just don't have I didn't use the weapon workbench yet. And then last but not least, we have the Uzi, which again, oh yeah, my Uzi semi-automatic, the one I got out of the box, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to obviously make this thing fully automatic. It is not a semi-automatic weapon at heart. Regardless, a very cool gun, just like all the others. And yeah, so that's pretty much all the weapons added in. And now let's go check out some of the weapon modifications and other cool features added. So similar to how I did the last part of this video, I'm just gonna go through each of these in categories, and you'll find a lot of overlap between the different ones. So as you can see, we have the M79 here, relatively simple. As you can see, we only have one real kind of aesthetic difference between the two. You could do a wooden stock or a wooden grip. I don't know why you do a wooden grip. And then you can actually have, well, that's it. So a little bit disappointing there, but on the multiple grenade launcher, you do have a few other things. Obviously nothing over here, but you do have a few different stock options now. So again, you could have some of these like tactical stock options that you couldn't have before. Again, you could have some of the different optics that you would want. So this one's going to be angled, which actually I think looks kind of cool. And then you do have on this one, at least, a grenade type. So as you can see, we do have an FAE, a HEDP, or a shrapnel. So these are going to be different. This is high explosive. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure this is like similar to the default one, and this one's obviously going to be shrapnel, so it's going to have more kind of things flying out of it. But yeah, so those are the grenade launchers, relatively simple in the way of weapon modifications, but they're a new addition, so good to see them nonetheless. So we do have all the different shotguns added in by this mod, so you're going to find something a little bit similar here. So you're going to have some different receivers for the two. As you can see, this one actually does have a mounting rail, while the other one does not. We have a few different barrel lengths for this. Again, this is going to be the M3, but it's going to be kind of similar for all the the similar pump actions we do have. This is actually like we have an internal, or you could change the internal tube magazine. I don't see many shotgun mods do this, but basically you can make it so you could actually store 7 rounds in the shotgun at once rather than the 5 rounds it comes by default. You do have a few of the different sights available here. Again, you can have some different EO techs. You could have the doctor sight as you were using, or doctor sight as we were using initially. And then we do have some different chokes. So this is going to be able to change the range and the accuracy. As you can see, we have a cylinder choke, full choke, improved cylinder choke, and a modified choke, which is going to make it the most accurate. And we do have a muzzle, so you could have a bunch of different shotgun suppressors, which I don't know, kind of, it's like almost an oxymoron saying that word. And then we do have some different shell types. So we have Dragon Breath, which if you saw the Incinerary earlier in this video, that was Dragon Breath. Then we do have a Slug, which of course is going to just be a normal single big projectile. But of course, what we are typically using is the buckshot, or the 12 gauge buckshot. Then we do have some spare shells on the side, which is going to increase your reload capacity. So now I'll go through some of these other ones, but again, you're going to find it's pretty much the same. This one is going to be exactly the same, the Benelli M4, except it's going to be the exact same as far as weapon modifications go, except it's going to be a semi-automatic. Then the Mossberg is going to be pretty much more of the same as well. But when we get over to the Spaz 12, we do have some slight differences. As you can see, we have kind of the same receivers here, but we do have this different stock, which I actually think is very cool. We have the expanded and folded stock, and then of course the fixed butt stock there, which I actually personally really like. And then we do, of course, this one was using Dragon Breath again, hence the Incinerary naming. But again, I think that if you've seen Jurassic Park, you've seen this stock, and I don't know, I really like Jurassic Park. Then we do have one of the different shotguns on the list, so this is going to be the Striker, and then we do have some of the similar things, so a custom frame with light hammer assembly. So that's going to be there, which is basically going to increase your fire rate and make it so you have an increased rate of fire, which I just said the same thing twice. Then we have a few different barrel lengths, which, wow, that one's actually pretty funny. I didn't realize this one was included. And then we do have a few different stocks. You have no butt stock, a folded stock, just like with the Spaz 12 or the extended stock. Then we do have some of the different sights here. You do have a vertical foregrip with tactical flashlight, which actually does work. You can toggle flashlights with Modern Firearms. You have the same choke options, and then of course the same ammo types. So last but not least, for the shotguns, we do have the Spaz 12. So it's going to definitely be probably the most modular out of the bunch. You could change this the most, and as well as it does have some pretty cool furniture. So as you can see, you can put on some of these different handguards. You could have some wooden ones, so it looks a little bit like an AK. Or you could have some other ones that makes it look like a Magpul, or just have some RAS or RIS. And yeah, I just think this one is pretty cool. Definitely going to be the one you want if you want to be tactical. And then we do have the handguard here, which I just was going over. Then we do have the grip back here. So as you can see, we have a ton of different options. All these different kind of rifle grips are going to be compatible with this because of the way the gun is set up. Then we do have the drum magazine that I am using, or you could use the extra large drum magazine right there for 30 rounds. Then we do have the Cobra sight, and again, just a bunch of different sights there. Same thing for chokes, under rail attachment. So this one is actually going to have a bunch of these different under rail attachments. So you can have some different flashlights, some different angled foregrips. And then we have the right rail attachments, same kind of concept, flashlights, except that time you also have laser sights. And then the same shotgun options. You can select the fire mode on this one, as I did say earlier, and there is going to be basically a little item in this mod, so you could kind of tab between these two if you so desire, and you could keep it in your inventory. And then this one also does have a few different weapon paints, which if there was a appropriate rail here, you could also change the rail system in the front. But all around, pretty cool. Those are the shotgun mods. That's the major new addition in this update. But let's move on to one of the other additions. So now here we have the AUG, the FAMAS, and the Tavor. So what we have here is going to be kind of more of the same. As you can see, you have some of these different receivers. So this is actually going to change it between the AUG A1, A2, and A3. So these are kind of real world counterparts. And yeah, I mean, you've probably seen all of these in different media. So my AUG right off the bat was using the biggest barrel, which I would definitely recommend, especially since it's a bulb up, because you're going to get some crazy range out of this thing. So we also do have a few different color customization options. I'm going to change it to black to match the front there. We do have a bunch of different magazines. This is going to be more similar to some of the assault rifles on this. So we do have a lot of the different options, as you could see, which we have had for a while on all those different assault rifles, as well as you do have a bunch of different suppressors. You have under rail attachments. Nothing too crazy here. Like, I could show you through all of these, but at the end of the day, this is going to be the thing we want to look at. This is going to be one of the new additions from this 2.5 update of Modern Firearms. So as you can see now, we do have a caliber conversion. So it's going to be for some of the different guns added in, predominantly the bulb ups we are looking at right now. And as you can see, we do have one. This is a new caliber all around. So the 6.8 SPC, this was added in by this update. Now, as you can see, that's going to do a lot of damage. 235 damage per shot on a fully automatic rifle that can go 491, I don't know, meters, whatever range is measured in. So as you can see, that's going to be a pretty crazy amount of damage, and you could shoot this thing extremely far. If you're wondering why I have so much ammo, it's from one of the crates you could spawn in with this mod. But you also do have the .300 blackout or the 5.56 by 45 NATO rounds, which I was using, I believe, initially. So all around, a pretty cool addition to see that here. And we also have the FMJ HP, what is that, hollow point, and then armor piercing ammo, which are going to basically change around what kind of damages it does. So whether it does more just flat out damage, if it's going to do more armor piercing damage, etc., etc. So it's going to be pretty much all the same stuff. As you can see right here, there's nothing too crazy going on here. It's going to have all the same options, all three of these guns. You do have a few, on this one, you have a few different color options. That is the only difference really between most of these guns. Obviously, you have some of the other customization options and they look different, but otherwise it's relatively similar. So that's going to be those. Now let's move on to the SMGs. So the SMGs are going to kind of have a similar style. The first two will be very similar, and then the last one will be a little bit different because it is an Uzi and kind of a standalone thing. So we have some different barrels. As you can see, this is the barrel I was talking about, or how I was using the longest barrel on this gun, or I was actually using the second longest. Regardless, what I would actually use is the 6-inch one with the built-in suppressor. I just think that's really cool. It's a custom barrel and all around going to just be a little bit cooler than some of the other options. So then we also do have kind of your standard things here. Yes, this is kind of a custom gun, and we have a magazine here, but there's nothing really crazy. You're going to have all the same rail attachments and all that, and nothing too crazy going on here. You could have some different magazines. Well, actually, no, you can only have one on that one. On this one, you could have some different magazines. We have the Rec 7 and the Rec 7 custom receiver. We have the different mag pull barrels. You could extend this one as well. And then we do have the same caliber conversion on this one, except this one also you could fire a 22 if you do want to kind of go for, I have a lot of 22 ammo but no gun to fire it, which I really like. And actually the mod author Idle Sheep did say in the future he does plan on adding in some functionality to hot swap caliber mode. So let's say you're out in the field and you want to switch between calibers. I think that's actually going to be an extremely useful feature, especially for those of us who want to just burn through some ammo or don't have a ton of ammo if you're playing on survival or something like that. So then we do have the Uzi, which is going to be relatively similar. There's a few other options here. We have a foldable stock, which it's a little bit weird because it doesn't fold. It just kind of sits there. So we do have some different magazines. You have the crazy big magazines there. You do have some of the different sights you do have. And then, of course, you do have the fully automatic mode, which should have been on from the default, and then some rail attachments, or no rail attachments there, and no rail attachments there. So that's going to pretty much be it for the weapon modifications. Now let's take a look at some of the other options and then go shoot some shit with all these guns. So another new feature that's going to be relatively minor. As you can see here, we have an Uzi with a suppressor, and it's like, oh yeah, cool, I'm doing some stealthy stuff, sneaking up on enemies, and but maybe you don't want to do that anymore. Well, now you also do have an option to remove the suppressor and just get the Uzi in its normal form. So it's going to work on all the different weapons in the game. It's going to be another one of those little switches. I have it bound to a key right now. That's how I'm kind of doing it so quickly, just like so. But yeah, relatively simple, relatively cool. So now we have these also new BDU options. So as you can see, we have a work in progress BDU stealth fatigues right here. Let's go modify this one. And as you can see, we're going to have a ton of different color options on these now. As you can see, we have some Spec Ops black. If we just want to go straight black, then you have Reaper pattern. It kind of, I think it gets a little glitchy in here. Then we do have the just flat armor color under that, as well as some of the different patterns as well. So then if we go to the actual BDU, so this is going to be the uniform itself. As you can see, we have a ton of different camos here that we could put on it. You have straight white, cryptic gray, digital pattern, camo pattern, straight black, etc., etc. And then all that for the hood as well. So if I put this on, it's probably going to be all mixed mashed because I was messing around with them. But let's see. What do I look like? Oh, I look like a tank, actually. But yeah, so pretty cool. I actually really like that addition, and I know he plans to expand it in the future, so that's another nice highlight. So that's pretty much everything in the game. Now let's go kill some of these Brotherhood of Steel that have been kind of standing around me this whole game. And I'm actually going to have no problem killing them with this, what is this, the multiple grenade launcher. This thing is a ton of fun to use, and it actually fires pretty fast, which is another little added bonus. But these Brotherhood of Steel are definitely going to mess me up very quickly if I give them the chance to, so we got to be a little bit careful there. And let's actually just try and blow up as many as we can. I have to kind of get into some cover here so I don't die as quickly as I am right now, because this reload takes like a month and a half, and I only have shotguns and SMGs on me in addition to this. So, no. Wow, this, they like shoot me and I insta-die there, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But as you can see, we're starting to blow some of them away, and these grenade launchers are a ton of fun. Oh god, not this. Not this where that I start getting hit by some of the like they start knocking you over effects. We don't want that at all. Where did I even get shot by that from? I don't know. And as you not good. Ow, I'm blowing myself up now. I'm in mortal mode, so they probably would have killed me already, but fortunately they can't. So well, let's reload, and then we're probably gonna have to pop a stim pack. The reload on that is so freaking slow, and we could actually probably hit this guy though. Can we? Critical hit. There you go. And whoa, oh, there you go. He probably has a cool gun on him. So let's actually switch to some of the other guns I am using on here. So I do have an SMG as well. Oh my god. Stop it. And he also did say, the mod author, that in the future we're going to be able to disable that. So that's a highlight I'm definitely looking forward to. And oh my god. Well, we're trying here. Can we get a cool headshot maybe? This should save us? No. No. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh god. Well, I tried to do a cool little outro bit, but unfortunately they're a little bit too tough for me right now, as it would appear. It was actually, as long as I can stay in cover, this guy can't really hurt me, huh? Or nope, I stand corrected. He can hurt me. Can hurt me very badly. But this guy I could probably kill. I think I have to reload though, and he's just gradually shooting at me with this high caliber rifle. But I should get some pretty close up shots here, or be able to blast him from pretty close up with my shotgun. And let's go for a critical hit right here after I finish reloading, of course. And ow, come on. No, shoot him. Wow, these guys are definitely no joke, because I'm not like doing anything. Alright, so I think that's a good point to wrap up this video. Hopefully you guys did find this informative. Obviously it took a while to make, but yeah, hopefully I'm not late to class after editing this. But regardless, as always, thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did watch to this part, let me know by telling me in the comments down below. Leave a comment saying shotgun, because why not? Shotguns are cool. But yeah, it's going to wrap it up again. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.